something also very special is what sits adjoining the Chalmette Battlefield. And it's going to be over there, not very far at all. Matter of fact, let's just drive over there. I want to show you. So as you visit this place, like I said, just east of New Orleans, they call it Chalmette Battlefield. Sorry for that noise. Chalmette Battlefield. And again, you can make your way around the battlefield by walking, like you see people exercising right there, where you can walk around and read all of the kiosks. The kiosks surround the battlefield, and you can read them, and they have so much great information. This is the side where the British were set up. They spent days establishing the battlefield, actually, the British on this side, and then back that direction, back toward the earthen mound that Jackson had built. That's where we're going to have the American forces. But we drive right over here where there's a flag and a spot to park right where we're going. And I want to show you what's next door to the battlefield, because it's also very special too. It comes later. It was built later, but I'll take you over to a cemetery. It's a nice big field to play ball in and read a kiosk, right? Well, anyway, birds like it out here too. Hope they're getting something good to eat. We're going to park right up here. Right over here, we're going to park, and hope we won't be in the way of these guys working. But you can park right here by the flag behind the British part of the battlefield. And we can get out here. Let me take you behind us here. Yeah, there's the battlefield. Plantation house owned by Chalmette. And right over here is a cemetery. A cemetery built after that battle. It's not that they have really any soldiers from the Battle of New Orleans here. They're not buried back here. Matter of fact, the British took all of their soldiers home. I imagine on the ship, brought them back to England, Scotland. But these soldiers are from American wars, just not that one, right? Just not that one. In fact, it's called the Freedmen Cemetery. And you know, one of the biggest contributors to these headstones are going to be unknown soldiers and these freedmen. Established in 1864. But back here we have these beautiful, beautiful oak trees, and I just find it to be a very special place. I like to come back here, and you'll see in a second you can walk down the street and get a walk in and show some respect, right? Show some respect to these soldiers, a lot of them not even named. This is a special spot. Here's a little key. Here's a little key. You need that really, because there's all types of, different wars being, represented here, and different soldiers, etc. Look how many. I have to go back and look at it. I think it's just short of like 7,000. Maybe more. Half of which are like unknown. But yeah, you walk back here and you find all this beautiful nature as they planted these oak trees and magnolia. But you see people walking on the streets. They walk forward up to the river and then come back. So here's something else, another spot to consider, when you come to New Orleans. Where there's a town, just east of it, maybe 7 miles, I call it, and we call that Chalmette, named after the owner of the Chalmette plantation, the same location of the Battle of New Orleans. Look at all these soldiers. Headstones really like a person in their area, but we can still get it as close as we can with some respect, right? Nice breeze out here today. A little drizzle. And not much room on some of these spots to put any information on it, right? There's barely a number right there. I think it says 330, I don't know. It's just a gorgeous place, and people are out here every day exercising. Beautiful oak tree. Here comes the rain. Gorgeous, to me. Beautiful walk. Beautiful trees, really. They got these gorgeous live oak. That's the style of oak that it is. Has a shelf life of about 300 to 400 years, sometimes better. But we have other trees back here too. Oh, looks like that just come down. I don't know. Civil War, World War I, World War II. And in fact, there'll be sometimes you'll find a soldier's headstone. It'll have their death happening in a year you don't really understand, how they died, because there's no conflict that year that you're aware of, and maybe there was anyway, right? You just don't know about it, or perhaps they just had an accident. I like coming out here. The magnolia, little small magnolia right there. Beautiful monuments and plaques that tell us more information about some of these individuals. Yeah, the wars are all over the place back here. It's not just, not just Vietnam or Korea. It just goes back and back, and it just blows your mind. So, I haven't researched this, but I mean, apparently this man right here is from Ireland. all the way toward this other last monument in the back here, and then the river. Then you hit the Mississippi. Beautiful magnolia. More and more soldiers. And gorgeous, gorgeous oak trees. Now, you know, right back here is an enormous tree. And you know, in this southern area, the oak tree is king. No doubt about that. That particular oak right there. We have different oak trees, but this one, the live oak, it's a small one. But right over here in the back, I want to walk up to, because it's something that looks totally different from the rest of the other trees. And I like it a lot. Right over here. Let's walk around. Right over here is one of my favorite trees. It's a sycamore. It's huge. Just huge. The leaves they fan out so nice and wide, and they're so colorful, and they're different greens. But this is a gorgeous tree in the cemetery. And it has a plaque we'll look at here. We'll start here first. It's called the Peace Tree. And you can read that. Survivors of the Battle of Shiloh commissioned this. And over here we have a tribute to a doctor, I believe. Surgeon. And this is interesting to me because he dies at Jackson Barracks. Well, maybe it's not that interesting. The date there is 1836, and well, yellow fever is going to run rampant in the colonial period from the moment that the French arrived in 1699 to 1904. So if he died at Jackson Barracks, he might have died of yellow fever, treating other soldiers maybe. Sorry about that finger. Anyway, yeah, the yellow fever is going to run rampant in the area, transmitted by the mosquito, and yet no one will know that until 1904, when they were digging the Panama Canal, and a Cuban doctor discovered it as he conducted an experiment. The experiment was by putting some pots under the four legs of the bed to see how much evidence there was of ants. He thought maybe transmitting the disease, and no, didn't see any ants. But started to realize after that it was the mosquito. So who knows? And this is a great spot though, and I would put this on your list if you have any type of interest in this type of stuff. The battle off to the left, to the west of here, Battle of New Orleans, or maybe you just want to take a nice walk in a very, very peaceful place.